Hi, my name is Galen McCown of Galen's Games, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play Verdant Arizona. This is one of the 4 mint-in games coming to Kickstarter in October 2024. They're all 2-player games with solo modes. Learn in 5 minutes, play in 20. There'll be more information in the details. So in Verdant Arizona, we start by taking our cards and dealing out a 3x3 grid. Determine first player, and I'll bring these over so you can see as well. And second player gets to decide where this truck is going to start, which can be anywhere. Basically, it's like a roadway all the way around and in between, and you can face them any orientation. So let's say they put us here to start. Okay. Game, on your turn, you are going to move the truck up to 2 spaces. And so when I say move, again, you're treating this kind of like a road. So you could go 1, 2, you could go 1, 2. You can also turn around for a move, so I can face it this way and then go around the corner 2 or go around the corner 2, right? So let's say I'm just gonna go around 1 and 2. And wherever you stop, you get to take one of the cards that you are next to and place it in your personal tableau. And so the first card, doesn't matter where it goes, but all future cards that you take have to connect to a card that's already out there. And you're attempting to, you're ultimately building a 4x4 grid. Once both players have built a 4x4 grid, the game ends and we go to scoring, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. But you select your card and you replace it with a face down card, okay? Now, wherever I stopped, that's where the opponent has to start their turn. So there's some tricky stuff going on there where if you're paying attention to what they're trying to get, which as you're building this 4x4, you're attempting to build rows and columns in ascending or descending order. And you're also trying to make quadrants like the top 4 of a corner of the same color. So if you're watching what they're doing, you're choosing where to leave them. During setup, I neglected to mention, if any of these cards have a nest icon, you're going to put a cactus wren in here. On your turn, if you pick up a card with a cactus wren, you take it to your supply. Maybe I put that there, okay. You can spend these on future turns to be able to move your truck 1 additional space. So say I wanted to get to that 38, I could go 1, 2, I could spend my wren and get all the way up here and get that 38. Okay, so that's how the cactus wrens work. That's how the selection works. You'll notice some of the cards have geckos as well. That's has to do with the scoring. So oh yeah, one more thing with this, that's right. So if on your turn, let me come up with a good example. And when you move, you don't have to move. Often it's worth it just to flip the car around to make it difficult for your opponent. But if on your turn, you cannot get to any cards in 2 moves, any face-up cards in 2 moves, even if you had a cactus wren. So I could get here if I had a cactus wren, but because I can't get there in 2 moves, at the start of my turn, if that's true, we place a cactus wren on every single face-up card, and then we reveal all the face-down cards. In this case, I flipped them, obviously, but they would actually have been replaced. They'd be new cards. And you would flip these all up, and you would have your basically your choice during the start of this next round. That is a huge advantage, and a big part of the game is timing it so that that happens on your turn and not your opponent's. So that is the gameplay that has to do with the market. Let me stop and talk a little bit about scoring. So as the game progresses, like I said, you're building your little 4x4 tableau. Your goal here is to build rows and columns in ascending or descending order. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see it goes up to the right, 2, 7, 25, 40, and it's going down so far here. Now that I have placed cards like this, I can no longer place cards to the right or left because we have reached 4, right? But there is still room, and I can't quite see it, there is still room underneath, right? So up here, say my next card is a 12, I could go for a, kind of, hey, that keeps me ascending here or here. I could also, put it down here, but once I've done that, now I can no longer place cards below or above because, again, I've gone 4 and 4 on both sides. One last use of these Wren tokens, you can spend 2 of them to switch any 2 cards, so I could do that and then switch these 2, and now, hey, I've got a column in ascending order as well. Once you've reached a 4x4, both players have done that, we go to scoring. And scoring is pretty simple. You are going to get, and there's a little card that tells you, right, 1 point for every row and column in ascending or descending order, right? So I don't have a complete puzzle here, but that's a point, that's a point. Additionally, these geckos that are on cards, if they are in scoring rows or columns, it adds another point. So now I've got another point here. If it was also part of a row that scored, I would get 2 points just for that one gecko because it's in each of those. And then 2 points for every quadrant where all 4 cards are of the same color. I don't have an example right now, but I'll make one really quick. Let's see. So in this case, if, you know, we were like this, at the end of the game and I have that quadrant, I would get an additional 2 points for all of those. And advanced scoring, you can also add a point for every row and column of a single color. I recommend waiting on that one a little bit. That is really the entirety of the game. That didn't even take 5 minutes. There's a solo mode as well, which I will teach in a separate video. Thanks. Bye.